It's asking me if I'm ready to go live. Yeah. Hi, everybody. African Queen Mo here. I hope you're well. Today we have a very important topic. I hope you can hear me, and I hope that you're on and you're listening, and I hope I'm not talking to myself. Welcome on board. I can see Zapayoro is there. Let me add him to the stage. Hello, Zapayoro.
Hello.
Can you hear
Hello.
me clearly?
Yes. No.
All right, that's really great. That's really great. Yeah. So today we have a very important topic. The theme, sorry, today is our first time to go live. So I'm looking for a lot of things everywhere. But the purpose of the reason why we're going live is because there's a question that Kenyan Gen Zs have been asking us. Do you know much about what Kenyan Gen Zs have been up to? We've been talking about that, I believe, on Sound Candid Live and
Yeah.
places like that. And basically, the question that they've been asking is, why are they killing us? Why are they killing us? You know? And I would also like to ask the same question because, according to Article 37 of our Constitution, everybody has a right to protest. There's a right. The Constitution provides us as citizens the right to speak to the government when we're not happy. And the way that we can speak to the government is one of the ways is by peaceful protests. And I believe that Gen Zs have made history all over the world by demonstrating that they can be peaceful protesters. So the question I've been asking myself is, and we have all been asking in Kenya, is why? Why are they killing us? Is it possible that the police who were supposed to be safeguarding our security, safeguarding us, could be compromised? Or what has gone wrong? Why is it? Is it that the security do not trust the people of Kenya, or that they are very overwhelmed by the numbers? And again, we also wanted to find out the reason we brought you on board, Zapayoro, is because I know that you being from West Africa, you can give us, and also being a political analyst yourself, you can help us as Kenyans also to understand, what it is that we're going through and to compare the situation with other countries for the purpose of trying to find a solution to ensure that we do not have this kinds of insecurity and fear going forward from now when citizens come together to express themselves. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I'll give you a chance now to introduce yourself. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is African Queen Mo, and I am an evaluator by profession. I am also a Kenyan citizen and a member of the Gen X, which is basically a couple of steps up from the Gen Zs. That means that I would be one of their grandparents or parents. I am a concerned citizen and a patriotic citizen of Kenya. I am also a citizen of the UK by birth, and I am also a mother, and I'm also a grandmother. So I am a concerned citizen because recently we have heard in the news that lots of people have lost their lives, including women, just like myself, to what they say are the police. Recently we had the discovery of many, many bodies in the dump sites in Nairobi. And it's been very, very concerning. And at the moment, many families are coming out to look for their loved ones. But before I get into that very gory story, I would like you, Zapayiro, to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so Payuro, I am from West Africa. I'm a West African. I am. I am a political activist from the Ivory Coast. Yeah, you notice that I don't like to say Ivory Coast. I don't like this name. I don't like that name. Sorry.
Okay.
Because it's a colonial name, and I am an activist in the UK. I'm the chairman of the Welsh Language Society, but okay, I'm here as Zapayiro, not as I'm not speaking for the Welsh Language Society. It's a pressure group. Just to say that I've been involved in activism, political activism for years now, for many years, and I've also had the the chance to live in Kenya. You know that. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm very interested in what is going on in Kenya. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, when I say I'm a West African, is because I feel I can contribute to the analysis of those questions, those issues relating to violence and the use of violence and so-called democracy in our countries, because there are so many developments in West Africa, and everything is being questioned. The what you call white people's democracy and its downside, and yeah, and is it really pertinent? Is it really relevant? For African realities. So that's it. So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I can say about myself now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I can now see where they have put the title because I was looking for it everywhere. It's quite interesting, yeah. So the title of today's show is "Why Are They Killing Us?" And the question is how goons are being used to hijack the space for democratic expression in Kenya. And these goons are basically people who pretend to be part of the protesters, may even be pretending to be part of the security agencies or the security, but are actually infiltrated into the system and unfortunately creating chaos and fear for people, for the regular people who are unarmed, you know. Because insecurity and fear are we're saying that insecurity and fear are the key deterrents to full expression by Kenyan Gen Zs and Millennials of their rights and of our rights as Kenyans generally, yeah. And
Yeah.
what started out as peaceful protests are overshadowed by intimidating state security armed with horses and guns and tear gas, threatening the spirit of Gen Z movement in Kenya. So it is threatening the perception of the leadership also, both locally and internationally, you know. And it's also creating an unnecessary, creates unnecessary like divisions and a threatening environment within our very peaceful country called Kenya. And as a Kenyan, I would hate to see us descend into anarchy or descend into war or civil war or anything. I would like us to continue to be a secure and peaceful country where everybody can express themselves peacefully and be listened to. And the young Gen Zs have been asking our president, Dr. Ruto, to kindly listen. And I think he has been listening, although the Gen Zs are saying, I think you need to listen some more. Listen some more, because traditionally, this is not the group that has been, that has been traditionally listened to. And I think it's not just in Kenya, it's globally. And this is the reason why the Gen Z movement has picked up speed and also enlightened so many people all over the world. And so many people are wishing good luck to the Gen Zs in Kenya. So now, I think I would like to also encourage other people to join us. Welcome. Welcome to join us. I'm going to try to see if I can share the link to this studio to other places and hope that other people join us. But in the meantime, Zapayoro, I would love for you to just talk about what you know about the Kenyan Gen Zs. What do you know at all, if anything?
Well, I've heard about the Gen Zs. Well, quite recently, honestly, I didn't expect that. Something in politics. Yet there are some new trends or phenomena.
Mm-hmm,
Sorry, that just emerge and unexpectedly, more or less unexpectedly. I knew
mm-hmm,
that before the Gen Zs in Kenya, I heard about the Wazalendo in Congo, but this is different
mm-hmm,
because that's this armed war. The
mm-hmm,
youth taking part in the war in Congo. So what I've heard and I see that it's a very politicized youth. I think to me it looks like a politicized youth. They feel that they have the capacity to understand the politics and understand how to manage public affairs and how even maybe how to rule the country and manage public affairs in a fairer way, in a way that where there'll be much more fairness and people will benefit in a way that will allow people to benefit from the resources of the country. So I wouldn't call them dreamers at all, because I think they are very shrewd and very relevant in what they're saying. So yeah, so that's what I know. I know there's an old political class in Kenya. I've heard about Azimio. I think there used to be Jubilee and ODM. Okay, yeah, this was quite the old ones. I said old ones because the approach is quite. The approach of the Gen Z is quite different, because it seems like they are they claim to be partyless. I think partyless.
They do claim to be partyless, yes.
Yeah, and then they are also tribeless, because some of the parties we have in Africa have when you look at the social or sociological base, it is usually backed and supported by one part of the population. I mean, a bit tribal, but the Gen Zs seem to be like Kenyan youth and national, everybody is involved in it. Okay, yeah. So that's why I see it as a very positive movement, and yeah, that's all I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what it
yeah.
means. The Gen Z, is it the Generation Z, or I don't know. I didn't do much research. I didn't do any research about it.
They're called Zoomers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're called Zoomers, yeah. So basically, they're Zoomers. There's the Boomers who are, I believe, I don't know, they're older ones. They're, I think, they're in their 60s currently.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
after the
Boomers, the
Second
baby
World
Boomers.
War. Yeah.
And then there's a silent generation, by the way, above them. Yeah, probably in their 70s and 80s there. And then there's also then the Boomers, and then we have the Gen X, which I believe they're in their 50s currently. Yeah, late 50s and maybe from 40s to about 50s. And then we also have the Millennials who are in their 30s, and I think they're in their 30s currently, going to 40s. And then we have the Gen Zs who are in their 20s, from the age 22 going up. And then we have the younger ones now who are the Gen As, who are below, I think they're below 20. They're
Okay.
below 20. Those are Gen As. Some of them are still in
Yeah.
school. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I can see we don't have really many people participating. I don't know whether it's that maybe it's because I haven't linked it to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. I wonder if it's possible to link and how to do that. Let me see. I don't know if it's possible to do that, but anyway, it's okay. In the meantime, let's just talk about the situation in Kenya, and try and figure out. Can you give us some examples of? Okay, let me first of all tell you what's been happening in Kenya. In Kenya, several bodies were found of women dismembered and thrown in a pit, literally in a quarry, in a dump site, which is approximately 200 meters. Is it 200 meters from a police station? It's actually within the vicinity of the police station. And unfortunately, there are very many missing people who are currently being looked for, because on the 25th of June, we had the first protest. I believe it was 25th. And that night, there was some insecurity in a certain place of our country called Githurai, which is basically populated by a lot of Gen Zs. A lot of them are going to universities, and many of them are in university, and some of them are there with their families. And we heard and we saw online that there were very many gunshots being fired into that place. Following morning, there were claims by several people that came on X, and they also came they came on Twitter, and they also came, I believe, on TikTok to complain that, or should I say, claiming. We don't know whether they're substantiated or not, that several hundreds of people, let's say tens of people, over 100 people, had lost their lives that night. Well, that was the night following the protests. And currently, what has been confirmed by the police is that over 40 bodies have been found dismembered in quarries. Some of those people are still being looked for. In other words, the people who were at the Githurai are still currently being looked for. But now many of their bodies are not. They're not. Many bodies have been found in a pit, and now the Gen Zs escorted those bodies to the mortuary. Yeah, because unfortunately, the way they were discovered was some lady claimed that her missing sister had said that she had visited her in a dream and said that she was in the quarry. And so she mobilized people to go with her to the quarry to dig it up, literally spiritual. Yeah. And so that's another question about the African spirituality and whether it really exists. I know you believe in African spirituality. So when they
Mhm.
went there, they found so many like sacks, kind of like gunny bags, which had been, tied up in a certain way with the ribbons. And they found so many gunny bags, and one very brave man, or maybe two of them, decided to descend into that quarry and go and retrieve those bags. When he retrieved the bags one by one, it caused a whole crowd to come around that quarry. And now it was, she went through all the bodies to check to see whether they were human remains. Sure enough, they were human remains and unfortunately dismembered body parts, all put together. Now we know, and the thing that was really worrisome and very sad was that all these bodies, I think there was only one male, but all the bodies that were found were women, female, and they had had their female organs removed. Their breasts and their private parts had been cut off,
Okay.
almost like in a ritualistic manner. So many people were quick to jump to conclusions that this was a ritualistic killing.
Well, Queen Mo, are you there? Oh, sorry. Oh, lost connection. Well, I would like to. I won't. I don't want to take over, but I just to inform you that Queen Mo is hosting this show. She's the one running the show, and the title of which is "Why Are They Killing Us?" And I think she has some issues with her connection, so I can still see myself, but she has disappeared. I expect she will come back. She'll come back soon. So wait, yes. We really appreciate if you guys can wait. Yeah. Okay. What's the problem here? Let me try to call her. Find out. Okay, I think. Well, I hope she'll get back on air. Just waiting. She joining. Okay, so maybe I will leave the show now. I think she will contact you later. I think she had issues with the connection. So I'll leave the show now. Okay, so maybe see you guys later.